All right, recording in progress. Yeah, yeah, but though pinto beans with that little bit of lemon in it, that wasn't too bad. I'm probably gonna take. So I thought I'm gonna wait till tomorrow, but I might take some after I get done. But other than that, greetings, 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 family, friends, and the world. This is Mikael Eric Harris, better known as the Juice, also known as the Alkaline Water Guy. How's everyone doing tonight? This is part two of Life of Mikael Question and Answers. This we're in part 7 and 8, which is part two, which is really part 8. But we're going through the series, so we number them off as we go. And this is 7 and 8. This is part two, and we just made it back to America from Germany, right? We did a journey from Detroit to Germany, and from Germany now we're in Mississippi. We're back in the States. So as I was just sharing, and the end of part one, which is part seven, the end of part seven, as I was saying that made it back to the States, and now I've been to church with my brother-in-laws, which is my sister's husband's sister. Went to church on a Sunday, first Sunday back. Like I made it back on. I left the 22nd, made it back the 23rd, the late on the 23rd, or it was just before quote unquote what they call Christmas because I don't celebrate it. I stopped celebrating back then. But I left the 22nd, made it back the 23rd, and of December 2094, 95. My bad, I'm going off. December 95. Now, I think it was the last Sunday in December. I ended up going to church with my brother-in-law's sister. The preacher was all kind of holes in the Bible. People just enjoying. I'm looking at these people like these people. He don't even know what he's talking about. He just going on and shooting and hopping and man. I'm like looking, man. I'm knowing the Bible. I'm seeing because I've been studying, and he's all across the board on a whole different rampage, right? Good to see you back, Ray. Glad you're back, cuz. So he going across the board rampage. So I wanted to talk to him, but I end up not talking to him because, like they say, you don't want to go to nobody's house and disrupting their situation. I can't remember if I talked to him or not. But I've talked to my parent, my mother, my father, my mother, and Joe, and my sister, and my brother, and we always sit down and have Bible study. This is in this was in Canton, Mississippi. Matter of fact, we was in Jackson. Nope. My mother and stepfather, they were staying in Canton. My sister was in my one that invited me to Germany. She was staying in Jackson, Mississippi. Now I think we would go out to Canton to have like a little family gathering. We sit down, we talk about the Bible and stuff like that. We was there, but the House of Israel. Now that the church, I believe, was in Jackson. In Jackson, I went to church there, and like I said, that was. But then I ended up going to church in Jackson, Mississippi, at the House of Israel. And it wasn't church, it was called the temple. We would go to the temple. Now they invite me to come. I said, okay, I'll go. I'll check it out. Because I said, it just didn't. I'm still learning and getting to and learning and coming into the way of the Creator. We go to the House of Israel. They had Sabbath school, and what I liked about Sabbath school, they taught history. They taught information. It was like you was going to school for real. And what shocked me was this. I'm gonna share some with you. It was called the House of Israel Hebrew Culture Center. The head man was Rabbi R. Divine. He was a little short guy. He wasn't real short, but just a little short, maybe a little shorter than me. He was about 5'6", maybe 5'7", if that, maybe about 5'5". It could have been that. But the point is, Huh? I can't hear you. You said I said roo. One more time. You're right. You gotta get it fixed. I'm getting it fixed soon. But we'll say that again. Say again. Huh?
You want to get on your Zoom so you can hear through the. Oh, but it might get a feedback.
Yeah, but if you get on, you can tell me what he's saying because I know that you can hear it through the other side, but this side to keep going on and off. I sure wish I can hear what he's saying, but yeah, if you could got on the baby on the other side while you in there. There you go. Now say what you said again, bro.
All I was asking was how tall are you?
How tall am I? Oh, you asking how tall am I? Me, I'm 5'10".
Like 6 feet tall, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm taller, like 6 feet tall or something.
Oh, me, no, I'm about 5. I'm 5'10". Yep, I'm 5'10". But he's a little short. I think he was like 5'5" probably. He wasn't too tall. He wasn't really, he was like, but then still, but he was knowledgeable, right? So I get there. I'm there now. This on the Sabbath. It's first Sabbath I'm there. I'm just sitting down. I'm observing. And we had Sabbath school. I love Sabbath, but before I can tell you I love it, but get there, he'll get to asking questions. They open the book. First they go through the ritual they do, like for the Sabbath they do. And then we come in and we sit down and have Sabbath school. Then we open up the book. Wherever we go, either we going through the book, or we having grab bag and everybody just talking about certain situations. Or people just asking questions about something they want to know. And bruh, that boy, I was like, my eyes would be bucked. They talking about history. They talking about prophecy. They talking about stuff that's going on to, like in the day. I remember one time they talking about Castro. I was like, who is Castro? Yeah, Castro, this and that. They were talking about what's the guy they killed? Hussein. They were talking about Hussein, huh?
I thought you were talking about Fidel Castro.
Yeah, Fidel. They were talking about Fidel in history. They talking about how many times. I'm telling you what I remember now in some of the conversation. They talk about how many times they sent people over there to try to assassinate him. They tried to send a woman, something like that. They tried to poison him and all this and that. And he still stood the test of time in Cuba, right? I remember them talking about that since I probably, huh?
Yeah, they tried to kill him bad times, right?
Yeah, so I didn't know nothing about that. This is something I picked up. I'm learning now. He's talking about Castro. Then, we were talking about, not saying we come a part of it, across the board, all kind of information, knowledge, history, information. We were talking across the board about all kinds of stuff because really a lot of people don't know this talks about today. This is talking about today's time, the stuff that's going on. Now, a lot of stuff, some of the stuff that they would just be on history about, I don't know if they were connected with the Bible or not on some of them, but I just know that they would just talk about his. That's why I call Sabbath school. Sabbath school will be in the Bible, but then we'll go off. Sometimes they talk about the events like on the news, what's going on in the news, and they talk about what's coming, the mark of the beast, and all. We talked about all kind of stuff. Fidel Castro was one thing we had conversation around that time, my beginning of coming. Few things that, and I was like, man, So they were just talking across. And then when it comes to the Bible, he'll ask a question. Well, what's this and what's that according to this and according to that? A question, not something that everybody knows. Something that be like, well, why is this and why is that? And then he'll ask a question. A person in the pews in the audience or in the class, they say, well, this. He say, that's right. Or he say, no, that's not it, but you're close. Man, I was like, man, my eye was like, man, woo, boy. I was happy. I was like, man, shoot, woo. They know the Bible like that. So I was just studying. I go home now. I was there. Now I just had a good time, so I went back the next following week, and the same thing, Sabbath school. And then they had morning service and things like that. And I think the second week I was there, it was the second or third week I joined. But the second week, I was like, man, this is the most truth I've ever heard anybody speak on. I ain't never heard nobody speak truth like this, according to the scriptures and according to what things that, So, but then again, sometimes people put their own spin on certain things too, not on the Bible, but just their own thoughts about things of the world. So everybody still have your own thoughts about stuff, but sometimes you can be so far into the teacher, you believe everything the teacher say, you even going with whatever he believes without even saying, well, I think this, and they can think that, and I can have my own opinion. Some people just go with the opinion of the person just because they're so knowledgeable about what they know. And that's what happens. So that's what happens. I'm not saying that's what it was, but that's what it was with a few other people. Because there was some things that happened with me further down the road that I know I was right about, but everybody went with him because he was a teacher. And that's what I'm talking about. Because I started growing. When I told him I started growing, before I jump there, like I said, my second or third week, now I joined because I said, man, I'm saying to myself, man, this is the most truth I ever heard. I ain't heard nobody speak truth like this in any church I ever been in. I don't know what, I ain't heard nobody speak on certain things. They start putting stuff together and this and that. Now, they believed in the New Testament, I'm just gonna say, yeah, they believe in the Old and New Testament, straight across the book, the whole, everything all together. They believe in both of them. Me, I just know the whole Bible is true. What I've come to know, I ain't gonna give you that right now, but I'll tell you in a few minutes. I can say it right now, since I'm just saying it. What I've come to know now, this is my point of view. This whole book is true according to the word of the Creator. And what do I mean by that is this. The Creator gave us blessings. A lot of people say bless, be less. I like to say bliss. And the Creator gave us curses. He gave us the blessings if you keep the law. He said, if you don't keep my law, these curses going to come upon you. Right? And like I tell people, and they don't get and understand what I'm saying, but their minds is closed because I try to get them to understand. The whole book is true according to the blessings and the curses. It says, the Creator said that if you don't keep my law, which he keeps saying, I tell you, if you read Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 14, just to break it down in one chapter, because it's all through the book, but break it down in one chapter, 1 through 14 is the blessings. If you keep my law, all these blessings going to come upon you. But if you don't keep my law, all these curses going to come upon you. The Creator curses and he bless you. But the people they only see the God that he's a courageous God. He's just a blessing God. He ain't of the devil. He ain't this and that. The Creator is over it all. He's over everything. The good, the bad, the evil, the sad, whatever you want to call it. He's over it all. Why? Because he said, I'm a gracious God and I'm a terrible God. And he can be terrible if he want to. People don't know it because they can't see him in that light. Because they don't know him. That's the difference. So the key is to know his word. That's the key. The key is to know the law. And if you know the law and you're doing the law, you're in his blessings. If you're not doing the law, you're in. A lot of people don't even understand. It's wickedness and righteousness. That's all it is. You're either doing the law, you're righteous. If you're not doing the law, you're wicked. That's just it. Bottom line. I don't care how much anybody think, no matter how they try to finagle it, you're either wicked or you're righteous. It's just that simple. A lot of people want to say all this and that and they put stuff in between. You're either wicked or righteous. But a lot of people say, oh, this and that. They just get. You don't know it until you start understanding prophecy. I'm a man of prophecy. See, I like to know the history and the history. The history and the prophecy. Prophecy is your key because prophecy is going to tell you what's going to come in order to pass. When it comes and you in it, when it passes, you're either going to be a part of it or not, of the prophecy of the Creator. There you go. So that was a quick rant I went on right then. But when I got to the house of Israel under Rabbi Artivine and then Minister oh come on now, Minister Dixon. Rabbi Artivine and Minister Dixon was the two heads of over it and things like that. So I got there, and don't forget, I already know, I didn't know, but just to share with you, I was there and I had already went through my anointing and I already made a promise. So now I'm there, I'm learning. When I say I'm soaking this up like a sponge, I'm soaking information up. I'm researching, going to check stuff, going to the library, going to the library, going to where else would I go? Besides talking to different people, making sure I'm going to the Bible studies. They have radio on radio night on Friday night. They had radio something with Rabbi R Divine. Right, on radio, 90.1 FM in Jackson, Mississippi. And they're still doing it today. Ricky Jackson is over it now. He's the head, because Rabbi Divine passed about maybe some years ago. But he didn't pass. But it's a lot that I can go into on two levels, good and bad. But, it's just that when I was there, I learned a great deal of information. Sometimes you think you at the truth, you don't want to leave. You think that this person got it all. You don't want to leave. But then you get to the point where you start learning, then you start to see yourself, you start to understand certain things, and then you start to see certain things. Now this is where your growth comes in at. And this is for everybody. Everybody is going to grow nobody stays in the first grade, second grade, and third grade forever unless you drop out. In order for you to graduate, you got to grow. And a lot of times you can be amongst people and you start to excel. They're still left behind. You ain't trying to leave behind, but you're excelling because your knowledge is growing. Right? Long story short, my knowledge started to grow. I was growing in information. I'm going there every week. I'm learning. I'm on the radio. They do call-ins. I remember the first one it was called Question and Answer. It was called Question and Answer. People call in, ask questions. I used to have what you call them? Them tapes, cassette tapes. I was stocked up with rolls. I was taping and sit back and I'd be listening. And listen, y'all. I've been this way 30 years, since 95 until today. 30 years, and I've learned a great deal of information. Great deal. Now, I'm not saying I know it all, because there's still stuff I'm learning. But what I've come to learn, I come to know. And I come to dissect. Because I've learned stuff, and then some stuff is in error, but you don't know it's in error, because we're always growing. Even people who call themselves leaders of today are in error in many different ways, and they don't know it. Why? Because that's all they know. But the people who have closed minds, closed eyes, minds that don't want to open and find out other information, they can't see no further than where they are. And they're going to stay there. You know why? Because the closed mind, you can't feed. A closed mouth, you can't feed. Closed hand, you can't give nothing to. They have to be willing to accept and gain the knowledge, and then not take it for value, for first-hand value, take it and examine it. Go over it. And the key is to ask the Creator to show you and let you understand it. That's the key. You have to ask the Creator and be sincere. Ask the Creator, is this right?
I woke up today, I was listening to this dude on Instagram. He was saying how, you could be trying to hand people $1 billion winning lottery ticket, and they will just they will not even try to see what you're trying to give them or nothing. You could be trying to give them, all valuable things, man. And it's just like talking about earlier, man. Some people, they just don't, they not, they don't want to receive anything, man. It's crazy.
And you know what I look at that is? What I come to realize is this: it's not for them. See, what I come to realize, it takes time as you go through life, you start to understand and see. This is for everybody, but everybody don't want it. And the reason why they don't want it is because the spirit
You
that.
have that saying in the 5%, this knowledge is for everybody, but everybody ain't for this knowledge.
There you go.
Yeah.
And not only that, it's because their minds some is warped to where they at. They don't want to grow, or some they see they fact they're what I'm trying to say. They see information. They've been groomed in information. They don't want to grow no further than where they are. Me, I want to know information. I want to know facts. I want to know mainly my key is prophecy. If I can see prophecy, I know what happened then. I know what was spoken of before it happened. It ended up happening, and I can see it today, right now. I can take you through Daniel chapter 2, Daniel chapter 7, Daniel chapter 8. This is prophesied to come, and Revelation 13, Revelations 12. Man, I could all through the book. I see and understand. I see what has happened and what's going on today. It has come. We're in the come in order to pass. We're in it. Robert Craig, don't forget that fear factor, which is evil. I agree, bro. Yeah, people are, it is fear. Being fearful, you can say, is evil. Because people are scared to make a move. People are scared to change. The main thing right now, people are scared to let Jesus go. Jesus, and they don't do the research on that. If the J don't come into the alphabet into the 1600s or the late 1500s, however you want to say it, and then the 1611 Bible, which is the authorized King James Version Bible, don't even have the word Jesus. They have Jesus. Now, this is something I was sharing with some brothers on Facebook last week or week before. They trying to convince me about a name. Everybody, the world now is talking about taking name in vain. His name is Yahshua. Not Yahshua. His name is Yahuwah. His name is Yahuwah. Yes, Yah. You all these different names. You taking that name in vain. I keep telling people the Creator is not a man that you take his name in vain. The name ain't nothing. They got all kind of attributes and stuff like that people. The Muslims call them Allah. The creator, that is. I'm not talking about the Prophet Muhammad. The Hebrew Israelites, which we are anyway, call them Yah, Yehovah. No, that's the Christian. That's the Jehovah Witness, Yehovah. But they got different Adonai and all these El and all these different attributes, which are titles that recognize the Creator. So a lot of people call them different by all these different names. One guy keeps saying, no, his name is YHWH. I said, you can't pronounce that. Yeah, it is. It's Yahweh. It ain't no Yahweh, ain't got no vowels in it. Yahweh, but it's Yahweh, Wahweh. I said, bruh, if you looking at it and it says YHWH, you can't pronounce that. I keep telling him the same thing. You're saying something that's not that don't add nor take away. So if it's YHWH, you can't even pronounce YHWH. Well, then what you say the name is, I said, bruh, the name is a concept. Now, I'm just giving y'all this since I'm here right now, since I'm in the conversation. I said his name is a concept. What's the concept? The concept is, like I share with people, you are a representation of your father and mother. As when we grew up. For us who know Robert, you know what I'm talking about because you were young. Ray, I know you know what I'm talking about because Tootie, you know how Tootie was, which is my auntie and his mama. That's my cousin I'm talking about. And anybody else of the elder, the latter days. I'm not the latter days in these days, but the days before. About 30 to 50 years ago. When we go to school, when we had a neighborhood, when we went to school or things like that, we used to get whoopings in school or paddles in school. Then they'll call your mama, you'll get home, you get a whooping then. Why? Because now you have disrespected your parent because you're making your parent look bad in the street. If you make your parent look at you represent your parents. You are a representative of your parents. How you coming up in the household is supposed to how you supposed to act out in the streets. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of these children today don't even understand it because the system is, oh, that's another story. I'm gonna get to that. That's later on. But the whole point is this. We are representatives of the Father. When you take the name of the Father in vain, you're taking his law in vain. How can you take something in vain and you don't know it? How can you take YHWH in vain and you can't pronounce it? You can't take that in vain. What you're taking in vain is his law. The Creator never gave a religion. He only gave his laws, his statutes, and his judgment. If you take his law in vain, which is the third commandment, thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for Yahweh will not hold him guiltless that taketh, I say, his law, which is his name, in vain. The law is his name. You can't call upon them by just saying, well, Lord Yah, Lord Yahuwah, Lord Adonai, or Lord, Allah. That's nothing. But when you start to be a representative by keeping the commandment, you're not out here laying down with somebody else's wife. That's how you've been called by his name. You out here, you're not bearing false witnesses on people. That's how you call on the Father, by being a representative of his. This is why he said in Exodus chapter 19, verse 5 and 6, ye shall be a kingdom of priests. Kingdom, meaning all over the world. Priest does what? They teach. We're going to be teaching other nations how to keep the Creator's word. Now, back to this Jesus situation. The first commandment is, thou shalt have no other gods before me. That's number one. Number two is, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, then, or any likeness of anything. That's no thing. In heaven above, earth beneath, or waters under the earth. Every time somebody say, they make their prayer, they talking to the Creator or God or Allah, whoever, and they say, in Jesus' name, in Yahshua's name, in Prophet Muhammad's name, in Buddha's name, in whoever's name. They just pray to an idol. They just pray to an idol right then and there. They don't even see it. They don't even know it. They don't even understand it. Why? Because they've been taught under the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire has tricked the world. The whole world has been deceived. So the first commandment is, thou shalt have no other God before me. Soon as the person say in somebody else's name, they just made that person or that it, whatever it is, a God. They can't even see it. So it's sad, but hey, I told the Creator, if you brought me to the truth, what I do. All I could do is put it out there. So now let's get back to the story. So that just went on. I just had to put that out there because it came to me the way it did. Because people don't know, they don't understand. So when I started learning, when I got to the house of Israel, I started learning, I'm studying, I'm researching, I'm studying, I'm researching, I'm studying, I'm going to the library. I'm telling you, I was on them. I ain't had no woman. I ain't have no TV. All I was doing was going to work, coming home, and I was studying. My head was in the book. My head was in the library. I was looking up history. I was looking at information. I was looking up everything that I can find to understand what I need to know. Then when they brought up Council of Nicaea, I said, wait a minute now. They started talking about Council of Nicaea. I had like a little packet. Y'all wouldn't believe it. So long, when I was there, I'm just giving y'all information now. I had a package I was sending out to people. I had a package talking about the Council of Nicaea. It was 400. The packet I had, I remember, it was 400 bishops got together. That King Constantine put these bishops together. They came together and they were trying to make quote unquote Jesus like a god. He did all this and he did all that. But then you had these Arians, another group of people called the Arians. The Arians, they were saying, no, he was just a regular person. He was just a prophet. He was just another prophet like everybody else. But the bishops was over here saying one thing, the Arians was over here. So it was clashing. They was clashing. And this is where it says in Revelations chapter 13, I think verse 3, I believe it is, when it says the deadly wound was healed. The wound was the Christianity. I'm giving y'all clues right now. Christianity was the deadly wound the wound was the Arians, because they kept fighting. The whole thing was about Christianity. They were trying to push Christianity the way they got Jesus looking today. They took the story of this guy named Yeshua, who was the real person who was supposed to have came, named Yeshua, and he did the work, but the work that they said he did, they modified the story. The Constantine, the Council of Nicaea, they modified the story. It's even in their creed. They even made it, I don't know if it's Nicene Creed, Christian Creed, or it was a creed that they made that they would say throughout the Roman Church era. It was a creed. They added stuff to it. They added stuff to it. Jesus, the Holy One, and this Mary, all this other stuff they add to it. But the people don't know this. Why? Because this is in the history book. This is not in your Bible. It's not in this. That's in your history. See, and that's the whole point. Now, oh boy, y'all got me stirred right now. But I'm about to go into some stuff, sharing some information now. I'm talking about stuff I start seeing. I'm like shocked. But now, where I'm at, they're calling him Emmanuel, the house of Israel. They didn't say Yeshua. Now, they were, instead of saying Jesus, every time you see the word Jesus, they say Emmanuel. Why? Because in Isaiah 68, not 68, Isaiah 7:14, it says, a virgin shall conceive and bring forth a son and shall call his name Emmanuel. And that's wrong. But I didn't find that out 2 years later. Me, Cephas, and a guy named Willie Sterling, we come to find out that, but I think we found that out through Brother Page, which is my quote-unquote father-in-law who's passed, which is Junior's father. It was 5 of us. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell y'all, it was 5 of us that we ended up getting tight. It was me, I like to say me because I was the thumb, I was always the one who stuck out. It was me, Cephas Ben Israel, which is Fred, which is yesterday was his Earth Day, and they had him on Facebook celebrating his birthday yesterday. Me, Cephas Ben Israel, I like to say Willie, or no, Brother Page. Willie was more like in the middle. Willie Sterling, and he caught, and right now he's doing pictures for a lot of stars. He started off with Music Soul Child. He's been doing it for Mary J. Blige for the early pass of the year. Now he's touring to Paris and all. He's been in a lot of places now. I remember when he first started, he was doing CDs, selling CDs and stuff. So he grew from selling CDs and then started doing DVDs with doing pictures on it and cleaning the pictures up. And now I almost say he's renowned. I ain't say world renowned, but he's renowned amongst a lot of stars that he's doing pictures for. Be all on Facebook. His name is Willie Sterling or Will Sterling, but but if you look up Sterling Pics on Instagram or on YouTube, whatever, you'll see him. His name is Sterling, Willie Sterling or Sterling Pics, but that was him. Then we had Brother Page, and then we had a brother named Nate. Now, Nathan went through something like I did. He went through a spiritual epiphany or a spiritual awakening. But Nate is one of those stubborn ones. I think he was a Scorpio. Just saying his sign. A Scorpio or a Taurus, but I believe he's more of a Scorpio, I believe, from what I remember. But from what I remember. You can't tell him nothing. He don't want to learn nothing from you. If you want to learn something, you want to learn from somebody that he respects, I guess you could say. Now, you can know something, but see, a lot of time, me and him was going, I told you, when I studied, but back then, Brother Divine was more like a debater. See, I used to debate with the best of them. When I say debate, when you go through this book from Genesis to Revelation, I can hit you any type of way, fashion, form, whatever. But it was things coming up that okay, it's things that I'm coming into finding out because I didn't debate. Me, I learned by studying, researching, debating, sometimes arguing, sometimes just listening to conversation, and then just something and going to the library and studying. I just learned many type of ways, and also from the Spirit. The Spirit would teach me. Nobody but the Spirit showed me through the scriptures about the third and fourth generation. Me studying, and I end up. I'm just going through just sharing some things that I've learned while I was there now, because I can't give you everything that happened throughout the time I was there. It's just a lot of things happened. Something just hit my mind about we did like a little play one time, and I act like a little white man. You know, Brother Vine was really shocked at my acting on that situation. He was shocked. He said, man, you did real good, and they all knew I can dance. All of them knew I could dance, So we would have parties or the feast days and stuff like that. We would do, just a lot of stuff that we came through, we did and stuff like that. And, I had a great time while I was there, while I was growing. And it's all like Brother G1 said. It's all for your growth. You go through these things to learn. We go through these things to learn. Okay, it's Robert Craig. Yup, the breath of life, Psalm 68 and 4. Exactly. Yup. It says Jah in 68 and 4, but we know that it's not a J in the Hebrew alphabet, so the word is really Yah. The J is supposed to be a Y. So, but it's still a title that we give the Creator. But the Creator is His law. The Creator can't go against His word. If the Creator said it, if He said it for the blessing, it's the Creator. If He said it for the curses, it's the Creator. No matter what the Creator, whatever others are the. This is what I read every Sabbath. I want to share something with y'all real quick. This is what people don't know and some people don't realize. I read this every Sabbath. Right after the commandments. I just had looked right at it. I moved on. Here you go, right here. Every Sabbath, I read this, right? Right in verse 18. This is Exodus. I'm going to show you about the prophets. This is what I'm going to show everybody to let everybody have an understanding. Right after I get through with the commandments out of Exodus chapter 20, I go down here to verse 18, the people's fear. And all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings and the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed afar off, or stood afar off. But your key is in these two places. Verse 19. I'm looking for something else to coincide with that so y'all can understand what's really being said. Right here. Verse 19. And they said unto Moses, speak thou with us, because when you hear thunder and lightning, y'all know how it is when thunder and lightning outside. So the people ran and stood afar off. And verse 19, Exodus 20 and 19 said, and they said unto Moses, speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not God speak with us, lest we die. And Moses said unto the people, fear not, for God is come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not, that you don't sin. And the people stood afar off, and Moses drew near unto the thick darkness where God was. Then he went up into the mountains and got the 10 commandments. But in Deuteronomy chapter 18, same thing said. And the cause and effect behind it. Deuteronomy 18 verse 15 says, and it says, the Lord thy God will raise up unto you a prophet from the midst of thee, meaning from the midst of thee, which is of thy brethren, like unto me. And I like to say a prophet in his time. The whole world said, oh, that's talking about Jesus. He said a prophet. See, talking about a prophet. See, get wisdom, getting knowledge, but in all thy getting, get an understanding. Why? Because understanding will keep thee. You got to understand. How, if it's only talking about a prophet, I say, wasn't Isaiah a prophet? Wasn't Jeremiah a prophet? Wasn't Ezekiel a prophet? Wasn't Hosea a prophet? Wasn't Jonah a prophet? Wasn't Zechariah and all these other people in the Old Testament prophets? All these other books? So when it said that, how y'all gonna jump from here all the way to Jesus? Taught by the beast, which is the system, which is the Roman Empire. That's how come. But the Lord, 15, Deuteronomy 18:15. The Lord thy God will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, which is the midst of y'all, of thy brethren Israel, like unto me. Unto him ye shall hearken, which you shall hear and do, according to all that thou desire of the Lord thy God, the Lord thy Yah, in Horeb, in the day of the assembly, saying. Now, this is the same thing that just said over there in Exodus chapter 20, verse 19. Let me not hear again the voice of Yah, my father, neither let me see this great fire anymore, that I die not. Now look who's talking. Verse 17, and Yah said unto me, they have well spoken that which they have spoken. I will raise, who is I? The Creator. I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto thee, Moses. I said Moses. And will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him. Whoever he spoke, whoever he choose to speak to and through, is who he's supposed to tell the people. Verse 19 says, and it shall, this is your key here, and it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my word, whose word? The Creator's word, which he, the prophet, shall speak in my name. That's your key. Speak in my name. So if the Creator told the prophet something, and he said, thus said the Lord, all through the Old Testament that people say, all through the Tanakh, thus said the Lord, thus said the Lord, thus said the Lord. Yah said, well, God said this. That's in his name. New Testament, you don't get that. Why? Because the Roman Empire gave you that. And this is the curses that the Creator was talking about. But 20. But the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the name of other gods. What other gods? In the name of Jesus, in the name of Emmanuel, in the name of Buddha, in the name of Mohammed, in the name of anything and anybody, which the Creator didn't speak it. What a lot of them did, they took the Creator's word and used it for themselves to put it out there. But when the Creator spoke, he spoke straight through his prophet. The people supposed to pick it up from there and do what the Creator said, not give praises to the prophet. And that's the problem we have today. That's why the world is deceived all the way around in every different so quote-unquote religion, because the Creator never gave religion. He only gave his law, statutes, and covenant, and that's all we're supposed to follow. We don't even praise Moses, and Moses is the one who brought the law. That's why I try to get people to see. But hey, people praising man. So my main thing, I just want to share that according to my story. When I start studying, I start seeing, I start looking, and I'm like, man, this is just something like I'm coming back now to tell you from what I've learned. But I'm studying through the house of Israel, having a good time, growing and learning, and also being the outcast. I will tell you that. I was the outcast. I was the person that people, like I said, I was that person people love to hate. You know. But people respected me for my knowledge. And let me give y'all some examples. Now, Ricky Jackson, Brother Amatai, that's his Hebrew name. But he was Ricky Jackson at first when I was going there, and he's Brother Amatai. That's his Hebrew name. So we will always be Brother out the Bible ask questions. People will be asking questions. If they don't get it, say no. Ricky Jackson will be in the back, or I'm gonna tell you, he be sitting in the back. He'll say something. Sometime he'll get it, and sometime he won't. When he get it, he say, "Okay, I get it." He'll end up before the what's column is over. He'll look it up, but I think some people think he had a strong Bible dictionary or whatever. I don't know if he did or didn't. But he was sitting in the back, and then whatever question he came up that he said, if nobody got it before the end of before the end of the Sabbath school, Ricky would end up saying, "Well, your answer is this to that to this and that." Yeah, oh, okay, yeah, cause yeah, but I forgot, man, we going on with this and that, and he'd give the answer to whatever it is the question was. So Ricky would do that all the time. I'm saying Ricky, but I'm the brother Amatai. He would do it all the time. Now it gets to the point I'm popping. Not saying I'm popping. When he asks a question here, bam. Some people ask answering, and I come back, bam. Some people ask questions, bam. I'm coming. I'm hitting hard, right? So it was one time I can't remember my sister's name. Dang, this was it was a sister. She's a woman, but I call her a sister. And you know, brother Vines asked a question. I was hitting, bam, I was hitting. I'm hitting, right? And then I remember the sister, I can't remember her name, and I'm seeing her face right now, but I can't remember her name to say it. But Keisha and Amson's mother, what is her name? Keisha and Amson. These are, they had a mother. This is their mother. Damn, I can't remember. I'm looking at her face. I see her face right here in my eyes, but I can't remember her name. But she said, "Dang, brother Juice." They call me Juice too. That's my performing name. Mikael, you beating brother Book back there, right? And I didn't even realize when you start studying, it's like it comes a part of you. And when it comes a part of you, it's like you don't know, you just doing what you do. And I'm gonna tell you, not say I was like I told you, I didn't have no TV, I didn't have no woman for years. All I would do was study, research, come back and study. Because my main thing is what I promised the Creator. I ain't never let that go. If He brought me to the truth, I'll put it in songs and writing and give it to the world. It's up to the world to accept it or reject it. I'm putting truth as far as I know out, and I share it. So now I'm doing this. Now this is not in the first year. This is just coming throughout the few years I was there. I think I was there for 8 years. I was there from 96, the beginning of 96 to maybe a little longer. I don't know why I'm thinking 2001, 2002, because I don't know if I was there at the time of the bombing of the Twin Towers, or was I at Shalom? I don't remember. I can't remember right off. I got to really go back and really dig deep in my mind membrane and remember where I was. But at the time, I was staying. When I first got back, I was staying with my sister. I was going to work at this place called this is 96. I was going to work at this place called Merchants Company. I was working there in the warehouse. That was one. I don't want to go into too much detail about those different things, but it's just certain things I did. And I ended up moving into my own place. I had my own place, my own apartment. I was still my sister at first, but before then, I was with her. She had her last son, Khalil. Yeah, because she was already home. Did she have? Yeah, she had Chevalier before I made it back. Khalil was the last one that she had. What's that in? I think that's how it was. I'm getting all mixed up because she already had Chris. Did she have? She had Chevalier. Chevalier, then it's Khalil. One of them, I was downstairs and she was upstairs, and we came home from work. She about to have a baby, but she ended up having a baby upstairs in the room. I think it was Khalil she had, but it could have been Chevalier. I can't remember which one. But we was in Jackson at that time. Then I ended up getting no. Then they moved. They moved more like in North Jackson. I believe I can say near North Jackson, near a place where I used to go to work at. I used to work at this gas station. But I remember walking. I went out for a walk after coming from the library. I went for a walk. I came up with the song. Just boom. I'm telling you what came to my head. Boom, 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 boom. Y'all know they heard through the grapevine, right? That was just in my head. And as I was walking, I was like, boom. Now I had to find out about the cross. Now, before I, thank you. Some of it's coming back. When we was looking up King Constantine and the Council of Nicaea, we end up, me and my brother-in-law, we was at the library. We were looking up Constantine and stuff like that. End up seeing where Constantine was in the battle with Maximus, right? This is where I remember. And in the heat of the battle, whatever, Constantine was in a ditch or he was down, and he seen up in the sky, he seen a sign in the sky. He seen a flaming cross in the sky, and it said, and over it or on it, it said, by this sign thou shalt conquer. By this sign thou shalt conquer, right? What did the Crusaders go around the earth showing on their flag? They had a flag with the cross on it. That's the Crusaders, and that's of the Roman Empire. And that's one of the things that kind of stuck in my mind. So I'm looking at this now. The cross is really a curse. People got in their jobs, they got in their home, they got on their bodies, they got around their neck. The cross is a curse. The people don't know it because they don't research to find out. It says, pick up thy cross and follow me in the New Testament. So they pick up a literal cross. This ain't no cross though. They pick up a cross, put it on, and put it on their bodies, all this and that. Not realize this cross. Then just what? Boom, pa, boom, 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 pa, boom, 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 pa, boom, 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 pa, boom, boom, boom. The cross. Now, here's the story about the cross. King Constantine kind of made you lost, but I'm here to straighten you out. Pick up a book and read what it's all about. Boom, pa, boom, 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 boom. Pa. This is in 97. It was 97. Boom, 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 boom. The cross is a curse. King Constantine kind of made it worse. He made the church called Christianity, the Roman Catholic. You see, boom. And that's most of it I got at that time. I kind of wrote out a song for it, but my stuff got this. But I still remember some concepts of that and other ones, other songs. But that was one of the ones I made that in 97. I remember the year and where I was then, because I remember where they stayed. That was around the time Irene had Zakiya, her first daughter. You know, my sister. She had Zakiya, her first daughter, but she was staying over there with Florina, where we was at the time. So, and then I was working at this Sunoco. A lot of people used to come through. I remember the radio DJ used to come by and see me every once in a while when they was going to work early in the morning. I met a lot of friends and met a lot of people at that time. I'm trying to see if there's anything I can remember. Just sharing, because there's a lot I understand, a lot of things I went through at this time. But like I say, I was the one that everybody loved to hate. I was always not getting into arguments, but I was just that person that people just, I don't want to say envy. I don't want to say jealous and nothing like that, but envy. But I didn't have nothing. I remember I didn't have much. It was just something. It was hard. It wasn't as easy as it seemed because I was going through a lot. I wouldn't say homeless, but I had my place. But no, I wasn't homeless at this time because I had my own place. I was around and I was doing a lot. When I say home, I don't know why I say homeless, but it was just that me being around people, it's just that I didn't have much. I didn't have much, but my knowledge was extreme, was growing, you know. It's about all I can say on that point of view. But hey, you know, it's a lot. Man, there's so much. I really got to dig deep more information because there's a lot that's there I know that I can share. Oh, I didn't get a chance to tell y'all. Now Karen came to visit. Got to put that in there. Karen came to visit. She was she came to visit me. Yeah, I can't let that go. This was the end of '96. She came to visit me and Nate. Remember I told you about this fire? I call us. We was hot. We was study. We was strong when it come to the word. We all got close. I got my place. Nate moved in with me for a minute. Nate was the type to try to take over. Where he go, he try to take over. Oh man, there's so much that's come to my mind of things that didn't happen, and so many people that I can give names for, but you know, it just goes with the flow. But Karen came, and I think what was that around November, October or November? Yeah, around time of atonement. Yep, she came around time of atonement. She was in Texas. Me and Nate, we rode out to Texas to pick Karen up. On our way out there, we fast. I think we did a 3-day fast, right? Oh yeah, let me share this. We did a fast. Nate couldn't handle it. I told you I was fasting all the time anyway. I mean, we was fasting, and we was going out to get Karen, my baby mother from Europe. She in Texas. She rode out there with somebody or a friend of somebody. So she in Texas. We had to leave Mississippi and ride to Texas. So me and Nate, we ride out there to go pick her up. Me and Nate, we ride out there to go pick her up. We start fasting together. We supposed to do 3 days. Go out there, pick her up, come back for Day of Atonement. Yeah, Day of Atonement. We riding out there, and Nate couldn't handle it. He started vomiting and stuff, so he couldn't handle it. So we had to stop and eat. So while we stopping and we eating, he eating, I'm reading, and the book. This is the first time I read the 40s of Isaiah. Love it. I've seen so much like the 40s just open that whole series, 40 to 49, just opened up to me. The 40s, the series of the 40s, it's like I could see. And there's a lot in there as well. If y'all ever studied the 40s of Isaiah, check it out. But so from there we went on, picked her up, came on back. Now she's with us. She's with me and us. We made it back, fell asleep. I remember having a dream the day before we went to the house of Israel. And this would have been a high holy day, right? I think it was the Day of Atonement. It was either the blowing of the shofar or the Day of Atonement. But I had a dream that, I remember the dream because the dream was we was in a place and we was in HOI, which is House of Israel Community Center. It's like Hawaii Community Center, right? But it was a hall. There was a hall. So we was like at a party. And I remember like he was there. I think Divine or somebody was there, and I'm trying to talk to him, but they wasn't listening. So I'm like holding my plate and I'm talking to him like this and that. But they ain't hearing me or whatever, wasn't listening, whatever. And I don't remember so much after that. But I remember getting back the next day. We went to the temple. Before I could tell Brother Divine about the dream, whatever it was I dreamed about, before I could tell him about my dream, he said, bruh, I had a dream about you last night. I said, huh? Mikael, I had a dream about, and what it was, he said, we was in the temple. We having service. And all of a sudden we hearing this noise come down the street, burn like a band, come down the street, burn, come down the street, right? And he said, what's all this noise outside in the dream? So he said he came outside and he said the whole, because I hadn't started going to Jackson State University as well. The whole Jackson State marching band was marching down the street with you, and you were leading them. You was the one up there with the what they call them? I forgot the name of it. One with the long pole, the something master, the something I forgot to call it. Huh?
Band leader.
The who?
The band leader.
Yeah, band leader, but they call them chair master or some kind of master or something like that. But I was coming down, I was leading. I was coming down, I was dancing, whatever, and I was leading them, right? And it said the whole band, it's like I was leading them. So he came and said, bruh, that's what he was telling me, bruh, we here trying to have service. He said, I ain't paying no attention to him. I was just leading him. Then I turned down the street and I started running on down past because he was on the corner. I was coming down this street and then I turned and went down this street with everybody following me. He said, bruh, you had everybody following you. So it's a lot of things that's been said. That was something that he saw. Other things that has been said. I don't know how long it's going to be or when it's going to be or whenever it's going to be or how it's going to be. The Creator is going to allow it to happen in His time. As long as I'm doing my job, all I can do is give the information. If people find out and they follow and they see and understand, they study, bam. But until then, all I can do is give my story of what I come to know. And it's a lot I come to know in between that time, and a lot I come to understand through people that has agendas, through people that think they know but don't know, through things that has been shown and given. And like I said, I don't know it all. I'll tell you quick, I don't know it all. And I'll tell you, if I'm wrong about something, I'm quick to say, bro, I was wrong about that. No, because I understand this now compared to what I thought. We all grew up in the way that we thought we knew, but this is where growth comes in at. So I'll never tell you I know it all, but what I do know, I stand on. Until I'm proven wrong, I stand on what I know. Back to the story. So he said, I'm walking down the street with the baton or whatever, walking down the street, and but that just shows that things that has been told to me spiritually, prophesied to me. Whenever it happens, it's going to happen. However it happens, the Creator's going to allow it to happen for when it happens. You know. But he dreamed that. I was like, oh, okay. So never heard my dream. I never said anything. But my dream really showed me that whoever people I talk to is like they're stubborn. They don't want to hear what I'm saying because I'm talking to him or whoever it was, and like they just don't listen. So whichever one come to pass is going to happen. But that's just on that when we got back. Then Karen started coming to the temple with us. We call it temple. We went to church. We call it temple. Karen started coming, and she ended up joining. You know, it wasn't like right there. I seen my son, Dwayne, my youngest, my oldest son. She brought him. I think he was 6 months when she. I think he's about 6 months. Yeah, because he's born in April, May, June, July, August, September. Yeah, he was 6 months. When she came, he was 6 months old. So, just a lot happened, boy. Well, like I said, I had great times and I had growing times. I'll say that. Growing times. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to end it right here with that, with growing time, because next week, maybe I can get into when I met my children's mother and when I started really dating later on. Because like I said, I was studying up until that time. Oh, I will say this. And at this time, I was going to the studio. This brother I knew, I introduced him to us when we had family gatherings and stuff like family gatherings. And this brother, he played the guitar a little bit, and he would make songs and stuff. So that's why I was going to get my music done at his studio at his house. So that's where I had finished up Florine, my sister Florine, and I think it was Florine. They helped me with when I was finishing up Keep It to Yourself. And then I actually did the chorus. I did everything. I made that. I did Repent. Made that at his house studio and at his house. That's when I made the songs up at that point in time. Now the new song, not new song, but the songs that been made are like the Keep It to Yourself still sound the same the way I made it, but it doesn't sound the way I made it in the beginning. Except for the one with the where I've been playing when I was playing uh that connection on that the intro that I hate you, and then the next that's the original track that I made. I made that one. Now Repent is new, and the music is new. Same lyrics. I made the lyrics, but the music is new. A brother in Atlanta, he did the music to that. The music to that one is new compared to what I had because the music I had actually I got it from Germany when we was when I was with Imperial, but I was with these other brothers at home in Darmstadt going through the studio as well, and T1 was with me on that one. So I originally did that. I redid the first verse there on that, but I finished it when I got home, and then used that point from there. That was the end. What else did I have? I was finishing up. It's another song I call "A Host of Heaven." I call it "Host of Heaven" because I was getting the days of the week, and really call it "Host of Heaven" because of what people are worshiping today. And it went, and the brother in Atlanta, again, Hectic, called him Hectic the backpacker named Joe Cox. He made a song, but I think he didn't took the music that I had, but he put the music with it. It was a song I call, and I ain't finished it, but this is more like, I guess the chorus or a part. But it goes, the host of heaven. Oh, Sunday is for the sun god, Monday is for the moon god, Tuesday for the god of truth, Wednesday for the wind god, Thursday for the god of thunder. Now the whole world will wonder about the things that we did and taught them to our kids. So everything that we do, we teach to our children, not knowing where we get it from. Sunday is for the sun that not everybody that people worship. Monday is for the moon. Tuesday is really for the god of war, but also the god of Tut or Tut. Think of King Tut, but it said Tut is what I read when I research. Wednesday is for Mercury. Thursday is god of thunder, as they say. So those things that said, now we're calling these things upon these things, not realizing we're calling upon different deities when we're not supposed to be doing that. So I never finished that, but that was one part that I started on. But I will finish it because I got to do it. And that's when I'm going to get some time to do it. When everybody start, when the army comes and really get the flocking and sharing information, I know I did my job, then I can probably, or whenever I get some time to do it, I can do to finish up on some of the things I've done so far. But that's some. So I met this brother. I can't even think. I've seen this brother face but I can't think of his name. Where I did the music at, So I guess that's why I pick up next week. On the part where I'm leaving off right now. I pick up right there, share a little bit of information, go into it, and then go from here. The House of Israel. That was something. Grew to know a lot. But I always get them haters. All in my Imperial haters. It is what it is. Anything you want to share, G1?
Yo, I didn't get that song cross. It wasn't in that song you talking about, the cross.
I never finished it. That one, the Host of Heaven. I never finished those.
Oh, okay.
Now, Hector did start it on me. I did have that in a track. I don't even know if I had the track with me. But it's a lot of stuff just get missing. But I had that on a track. I had Host of Heaven on a track. Not the full one, just the beginning, just saying those parts.
I had the cross finished, son. Come on, man.
That sound good? You like that? Wait a minute, say it again.
I said, yeah, that, man.
You like that one, huh?
Yeah, that would have been a great song.
Oh, it's coming though. Don't be. It ain't went nowhere. It's coming.
Yeah, man. You supposed to finish that though, bro.
It's something that I come to realize, and I'm glad you said that. When I was in Mississippi, that was my main goal. I was trying to get these songs together and get them, and I come to realize I got keep it to yourself on the radio. I will wait till next week to share this part, but
Yeah, say that one. Yeah, say that, bro.
I got it on the radio. Oh yeah, that's gonna be good for next week.
Yeah, not say no more. That's
Yeah, that's gonna be good for next week. Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. So other than that, I am that Mikael in Daniel chapter 12.
Hey, yo, hold on. Before you do that, though, you did say you got to put the songs in writing. What'd you say? Yeah, I put the songs in writing. You teach it to the world.
And give it to the world, right? That's the point.
Yeah, you got to finish that. But yeah, all right, man.
Because you know something? When you say it and they go research it, they'll find out. The more they research, the more they know. The more they know, the more they grow. Because you put them songs in, because a lot of people listen to songs, a lot of people not really listening to people like right. I don't know how many people come to my platform and listen to stuff that I'm sharing. But if they hear the song and just get affiliated with you and then go back and start listening, because once I'm able to start learning how to put these mugs in shorts, I'll be able to really put them out there, like, put more of this out there. People get
stories, movies, telling, songs, all these things are to convey messages, man. That's it, man.
That's true. That's fact.
Yeah, all that type of art is not just for entertainment purposes. You know what I mean? It's not for entertainment. I mean, nowadays,
yeah, but it should be for educational purposes.
I mean, yeah, it's always been for that. You know what I mean? Everything has always been for that. But commercialism, capitalism, they will make it about just entertainment, just to try to sell and make some money. But because they don't really want to teach you nothing.
That's right.
But they do be dropping jewels. Hollywood and all of these certain people who are behind it, creators are behind it. They know that they can push certain narratives. They can push certain ideals they want to push into people's minds, push pins in people's heads, these different opinions and stuff like that. They can start to push them through these as what they call it, propaganda. A lot of it now is propaganda.
That's right.
Arts and music and books and stuff, they're used for propaganda, whereas, like you said before, it was really educational. You know what I mean? Even though, it might entertain you while you're going through this
educational purpose, yeah.
But it was always had like you said, the primary reason for even doing it was to teach a lesson, a moral, a value, a principle.
That's right. Like Schoolhouse Rock.
Right, to pass down griot is oral tradition. You know what I mean? Passing down one on to another generation. You know what I mean? They keep something alive, to keep something that's gonna live on past certain people who will be around time. It's a way to preserve, the truth and things of that nature. You know what I mean? But now it's like you said, it's perverted and been co-opted to use for propaganda. They know how we can use this to tell, look at Santa Claus and stories like, you know what I mean? They can start to do things like that now, you know what I mean? Instead of, having a real truth, they can use it to tell you fairy tales and things that just keep you believing in superstition or just things that ain't got no real basis or anything. It's just, falsehoods. But yeah, man, or just wicked stuff. They want to twist you and have you into some wicked things. But yeah, man, we're going to just, that's good, man. I appreciate building with you. But yeah, let's, we're going into 9 to 10 now.
Yep. Yep, next week.
What's up? 10-part story saga. This is like the roots.
Yeah, man. And like I say, with this, I can always go back and then some more stuff going. But you know how you listen to certain things, say, "Oh yeah, this here happened at this time and this happened at that time."
Yeah, man, and it's good, like you said. That way, no one can tell your story because it's right here now. Now no one can change it. You sitting here laying it out, like I said, especially for your children, and everybody that wants to, that's interested and want to know, all your people. You know what I mean? This will be something for the future to.
There you go. You just like you said, that's the key right there.
Like I was just saying, it's to preserve the legacy of what it really happened. So don't get twisted. This is right here. This is like a vlog. You know what I mean? At one time, you had to be in Hollywood to produce a video like this and to put it online. And you know what I mean? But now with technology, is in the future. You could vlog it now. You could video log your whole, everything. It's like a diary. You know what I mean? You could sit here and leave it as a, example of how to live.
There you go.
And to mark your whole history. I mean, but yeah, man, peace. I'm gonna get some rest. I gotta be up early.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I'm glad you was here with me, Don. I'm glad that we actually started this conversation off so I could go through this. And I've been going through this. This is the 4th week. Next week will be the 5th week.
Yeah, that's good. The saga continues. It's all good.
That's it, bro. Other than that, I am that Mikael in Daniel chapter 12, verses 1 to 3. Yeah, that's me. Showing the holy people who they're really supposed to be. Waking them out of their dead beds, which is really in their heads. For all of you who living in the new, this is for you. I'm that same Mikael in Revelations 12, battling that red dragon where Satan dwell, who deceiveth the whole world but prevaileth not, because the horn is blown without a doubt. This was prophesied for you to see, that Mikael is really me. I would like to share with you, I've been doing the benediction lately. Before we do the Shema, we take this right into the Shema, and we go from there. We're in the priestly benediction, which is Numbers chapter 6, verse 22 through 27. And this is spoken of the Creator saying, and Yah spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, on this wise ye shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, Yah bless thee and keep thee. Yah make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. Yah lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. And we shall put, and they shall put Yah's name upon the children of Israel, and Yah will bless them. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shekebo, Vakuto Violam, Vaed, Hallelujah. Hear, O Israel, Yah our Father is one Father. Blessed be thy glorious kingdom forever and ever. Hallelujah. Bless you, Father. Bless you for all you've done, been doing, and plan to do. We ask you to keep us, help us, let us retain your knowledge, your word, and your information. And we ask you to keep us in every way. In your holy word and all these things we pray. Hallelujah. 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 All right. And now, if anybody like to get in contact with me, you can always call or text me at 770-572-5315. That's 770-572-5315. And you can always email me at lkhyym@gmail.com. That's lkhyym@gmail.com. And you can always like, subscribe, and share on my YouTube. And also you can catch me on my YouTube and my X, formerly known as Twitter. X, formerly known as Twitter. and also on YouTube at JuicePro33. That's JuicePro33. That's JuicePro33. That's JuicePro33. You can like, subscribe, and share. And you can catch me with that on X, formerly known as Twitter, as well. Then you can also catch me on Instagram and TikTok. On Instagram and TikTok. My Instagram and TikTok is Lakaim _ the juice, which is spelled LKHYYM _ THEJUICE. That's LKHYYM _ THEJUICE. My other TikTok is Michael the Juice Harris, which is spelled MICHAELTHEJUICEHARRIS. Again, that's MICHAELTHEJUICEHARRIS. All together, one word. Michael the Juice Harris. That's my other TikTok. Now, my Facebook is Mikael Harris, which is MI_CHAEL space HARRIS. That's MI_CHAEL space HARRIS. Excuse me. Now, for my full version, which is my Zoom, that I convert onto YouTube and X, formerly known as Twitter. On YouTube, under the video, my part 1 and part 2 would be under live, but the full version is under video. Also, X, formerly known as Twitter, is on there. Also, it's on Facebook. Also, it's on rumble.com /LKHYYM. Rumble.com /LKHYYM. Also, we're on patreon.com /LKHYYM. That's patreon.com /LKHYYM. Now, my platforms, if you'd like to know about those, just like tonight. Tonight is it's the night after Sunday, and we're between Sunday, as we call it, and Monday at 9 p.m. And here we're at Fight Fire with Truth, which is open conversation. Fight Fire with Truth, which is open conversation at 9 p.m. on quote-unquote night after Sunday, which a lot of people call Sunday night. Now, on Monday nights at 9 p.m., we have Mikael's Knowledge of Truth. Mikael's Knowledge of Truth on Mondays, not Mondays, actually it's between Monday and Tuesday, which is at 9 p.m. as well. I say them for a purpose as well. And then on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 o'clock Eastern Time, on Tuesdays, we have Sovereign Class of Knowledge, Introductory to Sovereign Class of Knowledge. And that's Zoom only. That's Zoom only, right? But all the rest of the broadcast is on Zoom, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Not TikTok, Instagram and Zoom, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube Live, right? So now on the Sabbath, we're here at 12 noon, which is the beginning of the evening. 12 noon, we're here and just sharing information, and you'll find us on all those platforms. Other than that, I thank y'all for your time, your patience, your listening ear, your seeing eye. Ray, I hope that's you still up. I think that's you still up here, cuz. I think that's you if it's not. Well, I'd love for you to come on Zoom. You might have to tell Nina to show you how to work it if she know how. If not, I'm going to have to do it. But if you can get Zoom on your phone and come on, it'd be really good to have you online just checking us out when the time comes. But we're here, like I say, night after Monday, Sunday, at 9 p.m. Night after Monday, 9 p.m. Tuesday evening, 6 p.m. Solving Class of Knowledge. And on the Sabbath, 12 p.m. Eastern. 12 o'clock night is 12 Eastern. Now we got 12 midnight. Come here, you. There you go. There we go. So, right now we're going to go ahead and get ready to say bye to Facebook first. I thank you for your time, your patience, your listening ear, and your seeing eye. Appreciate, love you, and always. Peace. I'll get you off in a few minutes. Brother G1, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go, brother, so I don't forget, so I can start loading up. Man, you have a great night, and we'll connect again. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow night.
Yeah, bro. I'll see you tomorrow, bro.
You hold it down, brother, and you get a good night's sleep.
Thank you, G. Peace, you too.
Peace and love, my brother. All right. That's my brother.
Recording stopped.
And there we go. Now, for Instagram. Ray, love you, cuz. I thank you for your time, your patience, your listening ear, your seeing eye. I hope you got love. And if you got questions, cuz, please get your questions ready, because I love to talk to you, man, so you can get a background of my background. I love you, man. Talk to you soon. Peace. And for YouTube Live, like Craig gone. Yep, the breath of life, Psalm 6, 8, and 4. I thank you for your time, your patience, your listening ear, and your seeing eye. Appreciate, love you, and always.